Everything Dinosaur, in collaboration with our chums at CollectA, have announced the second new for 2024 CollectA prehistoric animal model. It's a sauropod, a titanosaur, Dreadnoughtus. Wouldn't it be great if we could actually show you one of the prototype models? Stick around, we'll tell you more. Hi, Everything Dinosaur here, and in today's video we'll be discussing the second of the new for 2024 CollectA prehistoric animal figures, the CollectA Deluxe 1 to 100 scale Dreadnoughtus. And this is one of the pre-production models. Now it's roughly the same size as what the actual production figure will be. That is about 32 centimeters long and about 23 centimeters high. So after the obligatory request about subscribing, we'll crack on. Don't forget to subscribe and to hit that notification button to be part of the conversation. Well, let's take a look at the actual prototype model. The first point I'd make, it's a wonderful green colour with beautiful counter shading underneath. I think it's a deliberate move by CollectA to get away from the elephantine grey coloration which they used for their recent Mamenchisaurus and Ruangosaurus figures. When creating a replica of this type of dinosaur, an animal that was at least 26 meters long, it's been an effort to get some of the detail incorporated into a figure of this scale. And they've achieved it beautifully. The skin texture, I think, works really well with a replica of this size. And the dermal armour, which is entirely speculative, it shows incredible detail and real attention to the fact that there is larger osteoderms over the hips. And indeed, one of the larger scutes has actually been damaged, perhaps through some sort of intra-specific competition with another Dreadnoughtus. It's a little detail which I really like. Let's turn our attention to the hand, the manus. You can see on the model that it's been given a large thumb claw. Now I don't know whether the manus is part of the fossil material associated with Dreadnoughtus, and there is some evidence to suggest that some large titanosaurs did not have thumb claws. But I think the CollectA team have given their model a large thumb claw because there is some evidence to indicate that other titanosaurs certainly did possess large thumb claws. So CollectA have opted to give their Dreadnoughtus great big claws on the thumb. So, all in all, it's a beautiful, stunning replica of a titanosaur. An animal that was formerly named just a few years ago, and I do think it's a superb addition to the CollectA Deluxe range. This huge titanosaur was named and described in 2014 by Kenneth Lacovera et al., the first sauropod to be described in a scientific paper attributed to 17 authors. And at the time, Dreadnoughtus attracted worldwide media attention, as published body mass estimates suggested that it weighed 59,291 kilograms. It was heavier than a Boeing 737 jet. The fossils, representing two individual animals, were excavated from outcrops of the Cerro Fortezella Formation in Santa Cruz Province, southern Argentina. The first evidence of a gigantic titanosaur at the locality was unearthed in 2005, when a portion of an enormous thigh bone, the femur, was uncovered. Unlike most other titanosaur specimens, a considerable proportion of the skeleton is known, about 45%, although there is very little skull material, just a small fragment of the upper jaw, and a single tooth. Importantly, the recovery of the well-preserved and undistorted upper limb bones, the left humerus and the femur, gave the research team the the opportunity to measure the midshaft circumference of these bones, and thus provide an estimate of body mass. The 59-ton estimate has been subsequently challenged. Volumetric calculations suggest that Dreadnoughtus may have weighed anywhere between 35 and 50 tons. Astonishingly, the largest of the two specimens was probably not yet fully grown. This dinosaur was around 26 meters long at the time of its death, but the enormous scapula had not completely fused to the coracoid bone, indicating that this Dreadnoughtus had not reached adult size. The forearm is longer than any previously known from a titanosaur, and it is only shorter than the forearms of brachiosaurids. Dreadnoughtus may have had a strongly inclined body shape, as depicted in the CollectA Deluxe model. The genus name is a reference to the early 20th century battleships, and suggests that this huge late Cretaceous herbivore, which was one of the largest terrestrial vertebrates to have ever lived, had nothing to fear in its environment. Sauropod fossils have been found in the Cerra Fortezella Formation. The Megaraptoran Orcoraptor is probably the biggest described to date, but even a large pack of these carnivores would have had little hope of bringing one of these leviathans down. The design team at CollectA have alluded to these one-sided encounters, as there are scars on the legs of the CollectA Deluxe Dreadnoughtus model. The arguments about body mass estimates of titanosaurs will continue, but there is no debate as far as we are concerned. This is an excellent titanosaur replica, and we congratulate CollectA for their superb Dreadnoughtus. That's the second new for 2024 CollectA prehistoric animal model introduced. So sometime in 2024, Everything Dinosaur will be stocking the 1 to 100 scale Dreadnoughtus. Now, we think it might be available in March of next year, but we're not sure. However, we promise to keep dinosaur model fans and collectors up to date by posting information on our social media pages. So, CollectA have added another sauropod to their deluxe range. The company's built up quite a reputation for producing excellent sauropod figures. For example, in 2021, they produced a 1 to 100 scale Momentosaurus figure, and this year they introduced the Ruangosaurus model too. So, it brings us to this, our question of the day. What other sauropod model would you like CollectA to make? For example, would you go crazy for a Brontosaurus? Or perhaps you'd like them to make one of the early Sauropodomorpha from the late Jurassic or early Jurassic. Let us know your comments in the section down below, and we'll post on your feedback to our chums at CollectA. So there you have it, our lowdown on the second new for 2024 CollectA prehistoric animal models, their Dreadnoughtus figure. Now we'll post up new figure announcements on our social media pages, so I suggest you follow Everything Dinosaur on Facebook, on our Instagram feed, and on our Twitter X profile too. In the meantime, we'll put up links to the CollectA Deluxe prehistoric animal model range and their not to scale CollectA prehistoric life range in the video description down below, so you can peruse these excellent ranges and perhaps, if you want, pick up a model or two. We'll also put a link in the description down below to a blog post which provides more information on the CollectA Deluxe Dreadnoughtus figure. So, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this short video detailing the new Dreadnoughtus model, and I've got one more thing to say. Thank you.